process. We're going to start off with slide number 99, which is the eye. Alright, so please take out the eye, or slide. Please orient yourselves first. We're going to start from out going in. You'll be able to identify the eyelid. It's most likely the upper eyelid because it's quite long as compared to its mate or its partner on the other side, which is a little bit shorter. Okay? So this is most likely on the other hand the lower eyelid. As you move inside, you'll be able to identify 3 layers of the eyeball. The first layer, we call that the fibrous skull, is divided into 2 parts. This is the outermost part, which is the cornea, which is described as a transparent structure. And as you move posteriorly, you'll be able to identify the more opaque portion of this layer, this portion here, which we call the sclera. Okay? So fibrous skull is made up of the opaque or white of the eye, we call that your sclera, and the most anterior modified portion, which is transparent, we call the cornea. Now we'll look into the cornea again in a little while. Now after the cornea, you will encounter 2 chambers. This one first, which is the anterior chamber, and the other chamber behind this structure. This one here, which you call your posterior chamber. Now this structure is the iris. It is one of the parts of your second layer called your vascular layer. So from anterior, the most anterior structure of course is the iris, which is separated by a central hole. Here in the slide, it's separated from another iris on the other side, but remember, this is supposed to be a round structure with a hole at the center. So this is the hole at the center, we call this the pupil. Okay? So the iris is the first part of the vascular hole. And as you move inwards, you'll identify also at this level, the ciliary body. So there you go, this is the ciliary body. And further, the third portion will be what we call your choroid. So this is choroid. So this portion here, which is highly colored, this portion, which is highly colored and vascular at that, is your choroid. So in other words, the vascular hole is divided again into 3 portions. This one, the choroid, the ciliary body, and lastly, the most anterior portion, the iris. Okay. Now, we will also be able to identify just behind the iris this globular structure. At this point, it's now opaque, but supposed to be in live specimens. It is supposed to be a crystalline structure, what we call your lens. Now, behind the lens is another gel-like structure. We call that, on the other hand, your vitreous body. Whereas, please note that in the anterior chamber and in the posterior chamber, you're supposed to find aqueous humor. Now, as you move further from your second coat, so this is second coat, as I was saying, which is your vascular layer, you'll be able to identify the third layer, which is your nervous coat, otherwise known as the retina. So this is the nervous coat. Now let's examine further, before we go and look at the nervous coat, some structures related to the other parts that we've just discussed. Let's look at the layers of the cornea first. So the cornea is made up of 5 layers. Let's look at this under low power. Okay, this is low power of your cornea, and this is high power. So the cornea is made up of 5 layers. The outermost layer, this portion, is what we call the corneal epithelium. Corneal epithelium. Right underneath the corneal epithelium is a homogeneous layer, this portion here, which is not really so distinct, which is identified as your Bowman's membrane. Bowman's membrane. The greater portion after the Bowman's membrane is the substantia propria. Substantia propria, or the stroma of your cornea. So this portion here, the greater portion. And then again, just before the outermost layer. We identify first the outermost layer. That is the outermost layer made up of single layer of squamous cells. That is your corneal endothelium. And supposed to be again, you'll find a pinkish layer just above this. It's not so clear, there you go. That is supposed to be your Descemet's membrane. So 5 layers all in all. Again, from in going out, corneal endothelium, Descemet's membrane. Then you have your substantia propria, your Bowman's membrane, and again outermost your corneal epithelium. Right? So those are the layers of your cornea. Now, as you move inwards again, let's shift again to low power. First, that is your lens. You're supposed to identify a capsule. There you go. Now, I'd like you to go and look at your iris. There are 2 kinds of muscles that you're supposed to find in the iris. This is one of that muscle. This is your sphincter pupillae. Of course, you can easily identify this because the muscle is supposed to be circular. This is your sphincter pupillae. The other muscle, which you're just going to see as some remnants, there you go, this one here. This would be your dilator pupillae. Kasi radial ang arrangement ng fibers. In contrast to the constrictor, which is nearer the edge, mas kita siya. Kasi this is range circumferential. Okay? So those are the things we'd like you to further take note of in the iris. And then, before we leave this area as well, I'd like you to look further posteriorward, at what we call the iridocorneal angle. Remember, this is the cornea, this is the iris. At the iridocorneal angle, you're supposed to identify an opening. There you go, this one. So this is what we call the canal of Schlemm at the iridocorneal angle. Canal of Schlemm, S-C-H-L-E-M-M. And so, this is now, on the other hand, the ciliary body. The ciliary body is also composed of ciliary muscles. So this is your ciliary muscle responsible for your accommodation. And this, on the other hand, are your ciliary processes, which is responsible for the production of your aqueous humor. So these are the things we'd like you to take note of in your slides. Lastly, let's study the layer of your nervous cone. Now you'll have look for this, the retina has detached, so you might have to study it well. It has detached from its attachment to the choroid. Okay. In fact, the first layer of the retina is actually still attached to this. So let's look at this under high power. The retina has 10 layers. 10 layers. So what are the layers? First layer is this layer over here, which is what we call the pigmented epithelium. This is the pigmented epithelium. Second layer, this layer over here. Ito yung mga parang slightly darker dots na yan. That will be your layers of rods and cones. Layer of rods and cones. Now, after the layer of rods and cones, just before this dark area over here, this portion here is your outer limiting membrane. Outer limiting membrane. And when you see, after the outer limiting membrane, then you have your outer nuclear layer. This is now the nuclei of your rods and cones. So this is the outer nuclear layer. After the outer nuclear layer, you'll find the axons of your rods and cones. So this is now your outer plexiform layer. Outer plexiform layer. After the outer plexiform layer, you'll encounter your inner nuclear layer. Inner nuclear layer. And then after the inner nuclear layer, again, you have your inner plexiform layer. Now, after the inner plexiform layer, identify a sparse arrangement of nuclei. Yan po sa mga to. These are actually ganglion cells. So this represents the ganglion cell layer. Okay, ganglion cell layer. And the ganglion, the axon of the ganglion will now form your optic nerve fibers. So this is the layer of optic nerve fibers. After the optic nerve fibers, you have now, lastly, the inner limiting membrane. So 10 layers. Inner limiting, 1. I'm sorry, I don't know. Balik tayo sa pigmented. Pigmented layer, 1. Rods and cones, 2. Outer limiting membrane, 3. Outer nuclear, 4. Outer plexiform, 5. Inner nuclear, 6. Inner plexiform, 7. Ganglion cell layer, 8. Layer of optic nerve fibers, 9. And then, inner limiting membrane. Okay? Sorry, ayaw naman. Yan. Inner limiting membrane.